Okay. So what we're going to mainly talk about today is Facebook, making friends with Facebook. And you all may be, I'm sure you are all at different places in terms of your ease with Facebook or your familiar, how do you say that word? Familiarity with Facebook. And I'll tell you, even as a Facebook, I don't know, I wouldn't call myself an expert, an active user of Facebook for many, many years, it changes all the time. It just does. It changes, I would say, quarterly. And so keeping on top of all of the changes is impossible for an individual. And I think it's kind of silly to try to even try to do it. We need to figure out what we need to know to do what we want to do and to be safe and smart in doing it. We don't want to hitchhike on Facebook. And and now we're chronologically gifted women creatives. We can learn from our wisdom of the past, where we hitchhiked up Laurel Canyon Boulevard and lived to tell the tale. It makes a great book. But now we can take our knowledge about other things and apply it to social media because we're smart and we have a lot going for us that younger people don't. So we can look at something like social media and get a perspective, have a perspective that is very wise and rich. And we can use these social media platforms for our purpose. And we've been talking about posting with purpose. So what I'm going to do today, and before I get going, I will let everybody very briefly just say who they are and hello, and or I could do it because I know everybody, but I would love to hear your voice. And we have, well, one of our people here that you may not recognize because you guys have all seen each other for a while is Elaine. And Elaine is going to be our guest speaker or guest presenter next time in 2 weeks. So she's hanging out just sort of to see all of us and kind of hear what we do. And she has been on here before. So yeah. Okay, so Stephanie, why don't you just say hi and where you're sitting right in the moment.
I'm sitting upstairs in my hallway. But my name's Stephanie Bishalia. I'm a holistic wellness consultant, nutritional coach, and educator, and emotional mentor, instructor, healer. Kairos therapy is the work, and I've been at it for about 45 years now. So
great. And Stephanie has been with Posting with Purpose Play Shop from day one.
And I'm in San Jose.
Yeah, and come to everything, and she's like wonderful. So and I will say, I have seen so much progress on Facebook with Stephanie and Dee, because I've been observing. I kind of hang out and look at what people do. And so just in this last 5 months, I have seen a lot of growth. So that's great. So Dee, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. Let's say Elaine is new to me, and I think Jan, hello. I think you were on a couple of weeks ago, maybe. Were you?
Yes.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So I'm Dee Donnelly. I'm sitting in my office in Nevada City, in the same place where Susan lives, same town. And I'm here because everything that Susan does is interesting to me to learn more about. I tend to run really scared and naive about social media. And so she's helping me a lot to post with purpose. I think that's just really magic when you say that. So thank you.
Great. Well, yeah, I love playing with Dee. I've been playing with Dee for a lot of years, and I think that one of the things that really has drawn me to Dee and why we've become such good friends is because what she does in her life, she does on purpose, with purpose. And so transferring that to an online presence it shouldn't be hard, but it is a transition. And so the fact that she comes along with me to play all of the time with these wacko things I do, I do it with purpose too, because I love to be with her, but I also see such potential for communicating really meaningful things through her presence online and through her creative endeavor, which I like to call it because we're all creatives. And in Dee's case, that creative endeavor is fine art photography. And so, which, you know, I think is so awesome. So thank you, Dee. And thank you also for showing up for everything. It's just like, I love it. I have nightmares about talking to, not nightmares, but you know, I think, okay, am I going to be talking to a picture of myself? Or are there actually going to be people on
Real warm bodies in the room? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and so thank you. I really do appreciate it. And JR, would you please introduce yourself?
I'm J.R. Armstrong. I'm a romance and mystery writer from Michigan.
And is it humid in Michigan right now, or is it?
Yes, and 86.
Gosh, it's warmer than California.
Yeah,
it's warmer
yeah.
than San Jose. Put it that
Yeah,
way.
it's been a very hot day. I've got the fan next to me.
Yeah. Well,
But I live in a 180-year-old home, so it has no air conditioning.
Yeah, I can.
What do you write under? Because my sister loves romance and mystery novels.
The initials J.R. Armstrong.
And JR, feel free to put your website in the chat so everybody can go on there and find your books. And they are on Amazon as well. And I have read 3. I've read 3 of them. 1, 2, no, 4. I've read 3 and edited 1, so that makes 4.
there we go. I was gonna say I only have 3 out.
Yeah.
But yes, that's true.
And I have a question about book writers, and I know the printer, whoever you take it to, I don't know that much about it. Yeah. Can you guys ask for larger lettering for old people?
Oh, yes. That's when you go on Kindle.
I think.
And you can
adjust it.
Oh, yeah, right.
If you.
I don't use Kindle. I like books.
So. Yeah, and that's.
I do get requested that quite a bit.
And it's a different. So, well, we can talk about publishing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It just was a question.
Okay, so Elaine.
I'm just wondering, Jar, if your books were at the library, could Stephanie be seeing them at the library enlarged?
Oh, I don't have them published large, so no, I don't know.
I know that sometimes they have at the library, there's this wonderful contraption that kind of enlarges print when you read.
Oh, I have, now that you mention that, I have heard about that. I don't know how much across the country libraries have that, but yes, now that you mention it, I have heard that.
So that would be reading the book at the library? Is that what you're saying?
It would.
Yeah, okay, that would be fun.
By the way, I don't know if you're near Detroit. I've been to Detroit, Michigan. I've been to Flint.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
Yes, yes. And with Susan and Dee above me and Stephanie below me, I'm in Marin County in Larkspur, California. So I'm in between you all. And I don't get here
Yeah.
often, but I love the way Susan leads.
Thank you.
That is why I'm here. I love the way you lead, Susan. So,
Well,
oh, Elaine Hausman, I'm a video performance coach. And next time we're going to think about posting with purpose using video.
yeah.
That'll be
And
good for me because I've been wanting to do some online classes and don't know how to do it.
great. And I met Elaine through another group that I'm active in with, which is Katarina Rando's Thriving Women in Business group. And I immediately, I saw a post that she made, and I clicked on it because that's what I do. And I watched what she was doing and how she was doing it and the presence that she had. And I thought, whoa, she's great. She's a real pro, but I'm resonating with her because she's, one of us chronologically gifted people. And so then I went to her website and I looked at um, her bio and her experience and the people that she's worked with. And I'm like, holy moly, this lady is not only engaging online, but she knows her stuff. And she has a wealth of experience, just like all of us do with our life path has given us, we creatives, a wealth of wonderfulness and experience so that we can now pivot from being retired, which I think that word is such a crack up and I refuse to accept it, to being dynamic and being able to communicate our purpose and being able to identify what our purpose is going forward so that we know how to develop a presence and communicate it. And I will always add this, make some money at it. I don't believe that any of us sitting here, I may be wrong, but I don't believe that we have a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow in our backyard that's going to pay for all the stuff and all the experiences that we want to have. For instance, Dee,
Yeah.
I was not joking the other day when I said,
Oh,
okay,
God.
so
Yeah.
I am working with another wonderful lady who she's not as chronologically gifted as I am. She's probably 50, if that. And
Barely out of diapers.
that's Celia Gates.
Oh, yeah.
And we have been talking about doing a retreat in France. And so
Wow.
Dee says, how am I going to pay for that retreat? And I say, it's in 2022. That's a year from now, maybe a year and a half. And
Yeah.
in that amount of time, with Dee's fine art photography and her dream at this point, or her vision of where she wants to go with it, it could certainly happen that she has a show at a high profile gallery and that she sells out everything she hangs on the wall at 1,000 plus a piece. And pretty soon you've paid your way. I'm not talking about hanging your stuff in a coffee shop. I'm talking about a high profile gallery that is in a place where the people who would buy your stuff would come. And
Okay, we got it.
and that's your who.
Yeah, really.
And that's your who. So again,
Yeah.
we're talking about stuff here that I believe, I don't believe it, I know it. It's happened to me. I know that positioning yourself online, if you have a clear purpose, if you have done the work that we've been working on now for 5 months, and it's continual, you always have to keep revisiting it. It doesn't get done. And that is identify your why, your core values, your vision, your mission, your who are you communicating with? Who do you want to buy your stuff? Who do you want to help you grow your business? Who are you communicating with online? And your message, your purpose statement transferred into your mantra. And then after that, you set goals, achievable goals. There's systems out there in order to help you move from point A to point B to point C. You don't ever go from point A to point Z. It doesn't happen. We know that. We've been around a long time. And any of us in our previous or even current endeavors, we know it takes, I won't say work, because work is kind of a negative. People think, oh, I don't want to work so hard. It takes some creative play and knowledge about systems. What systems work for you, finding the right thing. And it also takes, a big thing that it takes is connection and knowing other people, connecting with other people. For instance, I watched Elaine's video. What did I do? I clicked, first of all, I clicked like. I think I clicked love, the heart. Then I made a comment on this Facebook group. And what did I comment? Elaine, what did I comment? Do you remember? I remember.
I can't remember, but I definitely responded, and that made a connection. But tell me,
Okay, so what I did, and this is a strategy that I encourage everybody to use. It was in a feed where our coach, the Katarina Rando, said, post what you're doing right now, post your thing, basically. And so Elaine posted her thing, and then I posted both in the comment, and I think I made a separate post where I posted to the group, wowza, Elaine is amazing. What a great video that was. I really got a lot out of this short little video. I signed up to go to her free class, like our Boomer Zoomer things, which I've gone to twice now. And I said this to the group. So what am I doing? Instead of posting about me, I've got a thing today, or I've got a thing this week, a workshop or whatever, or I am, me. I twisted it around, even though that was a request from Katarina, post your thing here. This is your chance to advertise what you're doing. Instead, I posted about Elaine. So what does that do? First of all, it promotes her to the other 4,000 people in the group. Secondly, boom, Elaine comes back. Why, thank you. We start a relationship. So a connection moves to, well, a contact moves to a connection, moves to a relationship. And then you've got to nurture that. Now, all of this has happened online. None of it has happened in person. I mean, I would love it to happen in person. And I put Elaine on my big list for that when I'm in the Bay Area, in North Bay, guess who I'm going to go have lunch with, you know? And the same with my friend Celia Gates. I have never met her face to face. I've known her now for 10, 12 years. We've communicated always online. I cannot wait to go to
Yeah.
France and be with
Sign
her
up.
in purpose.
We're
Yeah,
going.
we are.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question about that
Uh-huh.
or a suggestion? What I was going to say is if she hasn't got the date set, if the date for 2022 can be set, we can vision
Yeah.
being there. And that's what I would like to do because I would like to put that out for myself.
Yes,
So that
definitely.
I
Well, we
can-
will let you know. It's been just briefly brainstorming lately, but it's all through the upcycle group. So
Right.
you will know, you will know. And the other thing that, the other person is Gunhild. Now here, Gunhild and I connected about 12 years ago, was all online for many years. She needed her book edited. Actually, she wasn't even sure about writing her book because she wrote in Norwegian. And I said, I mean, you guys have met her, most of you, and you know she speaks flawless English and she's brilliant. So I said, well, why don't you write your book in Norwegian? And I will, she had a neighbor who she could, Gunhild could write in Norwegian. The neighbor translated it into English. Her market, her who, was American women of an age. And so the lady that lived by her translated it into English. She would send me chapters. I would edit it and turn it into Americanese. And so I said, Gunhild, you got to write it. And so we did this back and forth exchange for probably close to a year of creating Grandma Gertrude, her book. And when she published it, she actually worked with a publisher and it was edited yet again, which that's what happens with books. When you work with a publisher, you give the publisher an edited book, but then the publisher has their editor edit again. So she came to the United States for the book launch. She came to my house. The book launch was in Florida, or East Coast somewhere. She came to my house in California, stayed with me for a week. I did a book launch for her here, a book signing party. It was so much fun. And, now I can't wait to go to Norway, to her farm. But, online works this way. If you go online, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, my new favorite, Clubhouse. I am so addicted. You can do this with a strategy where you're there with a purpose and it's not icky, it's nice. And you develop these relationships, these connections that will push whatever you're working on forward, because it'll be clearly, authentically you, and you'll be communicating in a very attractive way, enchanting way, and things will start happening exactly the way you plan them out to do. Well, maybe not exactly. Miracles happen. You can manifest anything. I believe this, as long as you implement the systems and the processes to make it easy so that you can go through isn't our goal universally, all of us chronologically gifted women creatives, to last out every single day remaining to us with ease and grace? That's the way I want to do it. I want to be happy and do it with ease and grace. There's going to be bumps. There are always bumps, but it's how we respond to those bumps. Okay. So I'm going to jump into the Facebook piece that I want to guide you through. I'm going to try to not, it's hard because everybody's at a kind of a different place. So I'm going to go through stuff probably kind of quickly, what I see as sort of the top layer of important. And then I'm hoping we'll have enough time for you to ask questions. And you can ask me the questions that are most burning to you, even if, and definitely if I haven't covered it, ask it, because if I might know the answer, I probably will, but if I don't know, I know where to tell you to find out the answer. So let me pull up my screen. And I will tell you that I'm not super good at looking at the chat because it's distracting to me, but do go ahead, and if you have a question, if something comes up, you can put it in the chat and I'll go back to the chat and fish it out after we're done here. Okay, so let's see. Don't want that yet. Where's my Facebook? Oh, I know what I was going to do. I'm going to do this like you guys would do it. I'm just going to log on to Facebook and we'll go from there. So here it comes. I have fast internet. I am so happy, at least fast for me. It's like maybe not fast for you. Okay, I just simply logged into Facebook and this is what comes up. Let me see if I can move you guys out of the way. Maybe I'll put you down there. So when I just simply log in, I get a screen that's kind of confusing, right? I mean, this is a lot of stuff. So let's walk through where I am and what all this stuff is. So when you log in, oh, by the way, Joy, I saw you pop in and I didn't get you, I didn't get a chance to have you introduce yourself. So hopefully we'll be able to do that after the demo here.
I think she's gone.
Oh, she popped in and out. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't. When I saw her, I should have had her introduce herself. Okay, so right now, when you just first log in, you end up, see how this icon up here is blue? This is sort of called your home. See how when I run my cursor over it, it says home. And then what this is sort of like, if you think of it like a newspaper. This is a newspaper. And you open it up, I would think if it was a newspaper, it should have a headline, but this is like maybe even the table of contents of a book with pictures. It always reminds me of like Harry Potter. You know, Harry Potter, the newspapers had video in them. The people moved. Now we're used to that. But this is like kind of like a Harry Potter newspaper. What this particular page does is it kind of tells you what's going on in Facebook, your Facebook, and where you can go to do the stuff you want to do. It's sort of your main feed, so that when people that you are connected with post things, it comes into this part. Oh, here. Oh, what fun. One of the features of Facebook is it gives you memories. And look what popped up. This is me.
Oh,
These are the cousins and in LA. And that's my sister Kathy. This is my cousin Jim, weirdly, who lives less than a mile from me now. This is my cousin Tommy. This is me. This is my cousin Judy, who's in Colorado. And this is my cousin Cap, who's down in LA. And so I love that Facebook gives you memories. So this was a post that I made 11 years ago. And so Facebook reminded me of this post because I got a lot of engagement on it. And that is a key component to social media. It's not just posting stuff, it's posting with purpose so that people engage. And what I did with Elaine is I engaged with her. Now, what that does is it helps the AI know that you are somebody that they should pay attention to and help put out your stuff. The more engagement you get on your posts, the better it is. And the more you engage on other people's posts, you're helping them, but you're also telling the artificial intelligence that operates in the background, these algorithms that you hear people talk about, you're telling that algorithm that you are engaging. Now, Facebook is a corporation. It's a company that is making, a lot of money actually, but they're giving you a lot of stuff for free. Now, a whole lot of stuff for free. The fact that their algorithms are based on engagement works for them as much as it works for you and me and all of us. So I don't, and this is my own personal philosophy, you don't have to agree with me, but I don't have a problem helping Facebook make money. Facebook only makes money from advertisers. Now, they, because they also, I get a lot out of Facebook. I get a lot of presence building opportunities. I make connections. I manage things like my groups on Facebook. I get a lot from Facebook for free. So I don't mind if their algorithms from engagement tell advertisers that, that that they can advertise to me. Right here is an ad. Look what it says. Ready to land a TEDx talk?
Where?
Right here.
Where?
Up here. These are ads. You can
Oh,
see
yeah.
sponsors,
Oh.
sponsored. This has changed format in the last few months. So it's kind of looks different than it probably did a few months ago. And finding stuff, you kind of have to play around and click through and whatever. But the reason that these ads popped up, is because I have hung out with TEDx things. I'm currently signed up starting on Monday to take a speaker's mastermind so that I will be speaking more. So all of that Facebook algorithm, the AI, knows all that because of what I post in my posts and what I engage in, and sometimes the words that I use. So if I've been engaging on a post that's about being a speaker, the artificial intelligence takes note of that. And if it happens to be a post that there's a lot of engagement on, both mine and other people, the advertisers are taking note of that, because this is how this company, if I'm thoughtleader.com, that's how they make their money. And so this may be something that I would be interested in. I might click through. I'm not going to, but I could. So back to what comes in the middle here is your feed. These are the things that are popping up Okay, so here's a post from my friend Rob Waldron. I've known Rob for 50 years, and he and his twin brother Richard are good friends of both Bob and mine, and so I get stuff from him, which I think is interesting. It helps me keep in touch with him. It helps me know what he's up to, and trying to get him and Rich up here. It's really nice to know when they're in town and whatever. So, and it's kind of fun to read, I think, the back and forth between people I don't know. So I don't know Mike Arata, but they do. And sometimes the people that pop in on one of my old friends' feeds will be people that I know, or like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from that person for 40 years. How cool is that? So what I can do, let's say I said, oh, Mike Arata, I haven't heard from him for 40 years. What's he up to? I run my cursor over that and I get information about him. I get that we have two mutual friends, Rob and Rich, and I see where he's working, and I can see a picture of him. And if I want to, I could connect with him. I could add him as a friend, and we'll go through that a little bit later. I could send him a private message on Messenger, and I could also block him if I don't want to, if he's a weirdo. I could find support or report a profile, which I definitely wouldn't want to do if it's somebody I don't know. So that's, that's, okay, go away. Oh, look at that. So there's my husband popping into the conversation, or maybe it wasn't that conversation. Maybe it was a different one. Come on, go away. It's funny. See, that's my husband talking about the post that Rob made. Yes, my husband in a tutu. So, and that has actually got quite a bit of engagement. That's his profile picture. So anyway, you can see, you can go through this very quickly and easily just to see what's coming in kind of in the moment. The other way that you can see notifications, what's coming in, and this isn't all of this is not from everybody that you're connected with. This is usually only about, I don't know, I've heard 25 people. I don't know what the number is, but these are posts that have recently come in 40 minutes ago, 50 minutes ago. And so if I want to go to one of these, I would click there. So this is sort of a navigation page. This is a navigation bar up here to get you around as well. And boy, this computer is so sensitive. I run my cursor across something and it pops it up. So I'm going to go through this navigation bar with you. This one is the home page that I just talked about. There are more things on that home page that we'll go over. Elaine, I have my little Post-it sticker thing so that I know where to look in the wrong place. Okay, so this icon, I just removed it. This icon is the videos that Facebook has thought you want to watch according to the engagement that you've had on Facebook. It also may be videos that you've watched over and over, and so they send you more from the same place. So I'll click on that and you can see. So I watch Occupy Democrats a lot. They send me a new one on that.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Occupy Democrats. Okay, this one is something I don't, oh, it's a music video. So Facebook thought I would like that, and because
Oh, they're fun.
I
Okay,
put-
oh, they're fun.
I post a lot of things about the arts on my own profile page, and multimedia arts. So I define that as fine art, sculpture, dance, film, poetry, a variety of things. So of course I post that stuff all the time. Facebook's going to say, oh, here's another one. You might like this one. And I do. And what's this? A life less scripted, wearing a scandalous outfit to the gym. That might be fun. Oh, yes, of course. Dog stuff.
Dog.
I post a lot of dog stuff. This one looks interesting because I work with chronologically gifted creatives. I'm in a whole bunch of groups for that focus on people over 50. And so I get sent really cool stuff that Facebook says, oh, you might like this one, basically is what this is telling us. And so that's the video icon. This icon is the marketplace. And Facebook introduced the marketplace about a year ago. And I have to admit, I am a shopaholic. And so I go on Facebook Marketplace. I bought, you can't see it, but there's a beautiful antique chair that I bought on Marketplace right over there. And I think, well, anyway, I like shopping. And so I go on Marketplace. I also listed Froggy Mountain Pottery, my husband's business. I listed it on Marketplace. We made some sales. So, it's like, this is an interesting part of Facebook. And this one here is for your groups. Now I'm going to go into groups a little bit more, but this is how you would find groups that you probably are in. This is, you can see when I clicked on that, I get my groups, or this could have been on that main page. I think there is a place on that place, but the groups, I can quickly, these are my shortcuts, so I can quickly get to some of these groups. I join a lot of groups. Some of them are public, some are private. D is aware of one called Nevada County Peeps, which is in our own area. And Nevada County Peeps has, I think, oh gosh, 25,000 members. It's an open group for people who live in Nevada County, and it gives us all kinds of information about what's going on in our community. And another way to connect with people. I don't, I live in a small town, yes, but I certainly don't know everybody that lives here.
I do.
D does, yeah, D knows everybody. Yeah. So, and that'll be an interesting, hold that thought, because I do want to talk about, friends on Facebook. Gaming, I have never gone to this tab at all. I don't play games. I do play one game on my phone that I unfortunately got addicted to. It's like a Sudoku game. But I don't go on this on Facebook. You could, I know people that do. This one, I'm going to click through this because this is where your profile is located.
Okay.
And so this up here, you can see my pictures there, and there I click on that and my profile comes up. Now, the way that Facebook works is you all have a Facebook profile. Sian, oh my goodness. Oh, I have not seen you in 7 years. Holy moly.
Oh, I'm sorry I was late. I was on another Zoom educational thing.
Well, great. Well, hang out afterward. I would love to catch up. So back to what I was saying, and this is
Hello.
actually,
Hello, new person.
yeah, I hope this is so great. So let's go through the profile stuff. And this is actually a really good time for Sion to come in, because I'm going to mention some things about your presence and your profile in particular. So the way that Facebook works is that in order to utilize the platform, to be on Facebook, even if it's for business, or if it's for the marketplace, or if it's for because you are a member of a class and they have a group on Facebook, like our Posting with Purpose Play Shop. Our group on Facebook is a place that you need to be. In order to be there, you have to join Facebook as a human being, not as a business. So you join with your name, and your name, in my case, is Susan M. Davis. And I chose this name instead of Susan Davis out of necessity many years ago, when I was doing radio broadcasting. My producer, the executive producer, said, there are too many Susan Davises around. You've got to start calling yourself something different, because there are bazillions of Susan Davises in the world. And in fact, there was a Susan Davis that lived 2 blocks away from me in Mountain View, who I didn't know at all. And she was married to a Robert Davis. So, this is my life. So at the point in time, this was back in the, 2000, I don't know what it was, 2005, something like that. He said, call yourself something else. So I chose Susan M. Davis. It was also a challenge because I can't get a domain name, a URL, susandavis.com, because it's been taken for years. Even Susan M. Davis .com is taken. Susan M. Davis author was taken. I mean, it's just like, I've got the worst name in the world. Now, Sion has a wonderful name, because there are probably very few people with that name, both first and last. So when she joins Facebook, she can be facebook.com/Sion Zanos. She can do that. I had to add Susan M. Davis. Guess what? There are other ones of us on Facebook too. Profile. So that's when you register for Facebook. And I can show you individually how to, or in another video or something, how to do a custom URL or Facebook URL here, Facebook domain, where it's not just a bunch of numbers after it. But we're not going to take time to do that today. If you need help, let me know. I will help you with that. So on your profile, when you sign up, it's really important to put a picture there. Now, this is where I'm going to say that there are some people in this group who have not done that. And that is kind of a no-no, because the hackers do that. So if you see somebody come and asking you to be friends with them, and they don't have a profile picture, beware, because they could potentially be a bot, a non-person, a hacker, a hijacker, a persona non grata. You know, we don't want them. So those of you who have not put your
Nope.
profile picture here, do it. And so when you can do it when you first set up, but you can also edit from this page. So you click on this icon and it says update profile picture. And I could choose a different one if I wanted to. I could be I could be Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but I would recommend, and this is my own recommendation for you guys in particular, because you're posting with purpose, that you choose a profile picture that you are going to use elsewhere. So Dee had taken this wonderful picture of me that I absolutely love. You can see I have another one here that Dee took that I also like, this one. Actually, Dee took a lot of these pictures. So why do I not use this one, which is a nice picture? I love this picture. I use this one because well, for one thing, I love this picture, but also I use this picture everywhere. It's on LinkedIn, it's on Instagram, now it's on Clubhouse, it's everywhere. So it's sort of a branding thing, but it's also I guess that's branding. It takes people 8 or more times to see anything, whether it's a post or a picture or whatever, to remember it and to take action. And so I want people to remember me. So that's how you change your profile picture or load up a profile picture. If you don't have anything in your photos on Facebook, and like I said, I've been on Facebook for a long time, so I've got a lot of photos here. But if you want to upload a new one, so Dee took this picture of me, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, well, I probably in maybe 6 months, maybe the beginning of January, next year, I should update my picture because I want to look like I'm a chronologically gifted woman. I want to look like I really look. I don't want to look like I had work. I want to look like me. And so I think I look like me here, but
I think you look like you.
But
Yeah.
maybe in January, I won't. Maybe I'll have more white hair. That would be cool. And so I may update it. If I wanted to update one, I click on upload, if I wanted to put something brand new, and then I have to take it off of my computer. And so, I have all my choices and I'll be uploading something else. So you'll see how that works. So that is how you put a picture here. Very important to be seen as, I believe, as who you are. A lot of people put those
Dog or yeah.
Yeah, they put their dog there, or they put their what is that, those called, those like emoji things that they avatar graphics.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I don't like those. I mean, I want to know what somebody looks like. I mean, I'm just thrilled that I'm looking at Sion's face today. And, that is awesome. So I would highly recommend doing that. Your cover picture. Now your cover, you can change whenever you want. And so I kind of do my covers seasonally. I'm going to show you right now how you update your cover. I took this photograph, and so I used a photograph that I took in a place that I really like, and at the beginning of spring. So right now I'm going to edit this cover. So I click there. I'm going to if I click select photo, it'll come from that same library that you just saw, but I'm going to click upload photo. Now here's where I have prepared myself a bit. I have done 2 things. I on this list of my photographs, I have one that is, I'm going to first click on this one, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to click on Peach Rose. I took this photograph, so I feel very comfortable putting it up there. I don't, I'm very sensitive about taking photographs off of Google or someplace that's illegal, and I don't do it. Okay, so that formatted like that. Now, that's not too bad, except it's way blown up and, I don't really like it. So and you can reposition it a little bit, but I still don't, it's like, oh, that particular photograph was formatted so that it does this, and I don't like it. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to, no, that's not what I want. I want to update my, so if I wanted this to be here, I would click Save Changes. I don't want it to be there, so I'm going to cancel it, and I'm going to do it all over again. Now watch what happens. I'm going to upload a photo. This time I'm uploading one that I have prepared to fit the cover.
Okay.
And I will, here it is, Facebook cover demo. Okay.
Because you sized it properly. Okay.
I size it, and I'll show you how I did that. And it's easy and free.
That was the Canva.
I used Canva.
Canva,
And so here's the app that I use, canva.com. This is free, so I highly recommend you play with this. It is so much fun. I use it all the time for everything. Now, what I did in Canva, it's a graphic design program, and I have totally, I've totally gone away from Adobe, the Adobe products in design and the Adobe suite, because you pay for that.
Yeah.
And I can do everything I want to do on Canva and more. So when you're on Canva, you can say, okay, I'm gonna do a well, let's see, Facebook cover. And that's what that's called. That thing that I just uploaded is a Facebook cover. You click on it, and they give you a, come on. They give you a blank sheet that's actually sized to exactly the size that you want. And then it gives you a bunch of templates that you can use. So I decided I would use this template. And I said, well, I don't want to say foodie blog. So I click on that and I delete it. I don't want it to have her name, so I delete it. I don't want it to do this, so I delete it. Then I've already uploaded, and you can see over on this side, and I will give you a training on Canva because I'm just going to go through this really fast. I drag that over and drop it. Now I wanted to have some writing on it, which I don't think even showed up on the thing. So you could put writing on this, you can do whatever. And that's how I formatted it differently than this. You can see, this is my list of all of the things, all of the pieces that I've previously made. So if I wanted to reuse something of mine that I've previously made, I click on that and it goes to recent designs. And there's also one here, all your designs. So I click on all my designs and I come up with all of these things that I've created. And so you guys know, you've seen, I sent this out.
Right.
I sent this out. I sent this out. I reuse them. I update them. I do all the covers for my videos.
Yeah, there's the writing.
It's just a great tool. And I even do silly stuff. So, I give people make people birthday cards.
Cards,
I
yeah.
do all kinds of fun stuff on Canva. I wrote a thank you card for a coffee cup that was my coach sent me. So, you know, this program, Canva, free for you. I have a pro version, so I can do more things, but you don't need a pro version. You can use your free version for anything you want to do, and it absolutely will work. And so that's how I updated this. Now I'm going to save changes just for the heck of it. You can see I did put this on here. It looks to me like I would probably later go back and I'd pull these things down because they're not really visible. I would also, at certain times of the year, I've made this coordinate with something that's going on in my life or with the season or whatever. And so you want it to be, again, attractive. You want people to come to your profile page and say, oh, I think I like this person, or, oh, she looks interesting, or, oh, she likes pretty flowers, or whatever.
Right.
So you're communicating there. Now, here is a place where Facebook gives you the chance to have something that tells a little bit about you. And so what I'm going to change this to is what is on here. So there's a method in my madness here. This is my digital business card. There's my picture, right? Here's my name, M. This part, hippie boomer artist, I won't be able to do all of this because Facebook doesn't give me enough room, but I'm going to go this far. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to Facebook and I'm going to edit this because I haven't changed this in 15 years. So
That'll be fun.
it's time to change it, right? So I'm going to highlight this. I clicked on that to edit it. I'm going to highlight it and I'm going to paste it. There you go. I actually could add 24 characters, but right now I don't know what I would put there, so I'm going to just leave it at that. This little catchy description of me, I created because I wanted to show my personality. I wanted to have some words in it that would resonate with different kinds of people, and for different reasons. And I wanted it to be fun. And so I put this everywhere. I put it on that digital business card. I recently put it on Clubhouse. So I had just yesterday, this lady, I was on a webinar or a Zoom class, and one of the ladies said, we were talking about Clubhouse. And I said, yeah, I'm really enjoying Clubhouse. It's really great. And so she apparently went on to Clubhouse right then and there. It's on her phone. And she goes, oh, are you the boomer hippie artist? And I said, yeah, that's me.
The boomer hippie artist, yeah.
And so
Silicon Valley hippie.
that's exactly what I wanted to happen. I want somebody to remember it. It's funny. It's clever. It's memorable. And why do I want that? Because my presence, the presence that I have online, I have a purpose for being there. And I want people to remember me. And I want them to remember me for being fun and funny and having a good time on social media. And I want them to know that I am techie, but I don't live there anymore. And that I am a story catcher. And so, and some people say, well, what's that? What's a story catcher? Oh, thank you for asking. That opens up a whole new doorway to talk about what story catching is. So, you know, it's, that's why I did that. And I'm really happy to now save it on Facebook. Yay. So it's saved. I'm going to just share now because I'm not quite sure what that means, where it's shared. If it's probably, I don't know. Well, we'll see. So, so that in your initial landing of your profile is important, I think. Now, the other thing that's important that I'm not going to go into in great detail, because I do have a video where I walk you through it even more fully, and I will even go further, is this little down arrow here. This is really important place to know about. This is sort of like your settings, and it's where you can adjust things, and it takes some time to be as private as you want. Now, I'm chosen to be very public on Facebook, and I did that on purpose, and it does take a little more care to make sure that I'm checking frequently to make sure that there's no weirdness going on. And but I do that because I want to have presence. I want to be out there. I want to communicate my purpose. And you don't have to, though. And you can even be private, very private, on your Facebook profile and still have a business presence on Facebook. And I will go into that. We probably won't have time to go into the business page section or the group section even today, but it is important that you click on the privacy thing. And Facebook is really good about this. And I think it's fun. I mean, look at, they do little cartoons, but they guide you through the settings. The video that I posted on the Posting with Purpose Play Shop membership site is also guiding you through step by step these privacy settings. And so you may want to set your privacy setting on not public. And there's a couple different versions of what not public means. We don't have time to go through all of this right now, but that should be like your homework assignment. You should go and make sure that you've got something nice here, that you guys have been working hopefully on your purpose statements and your mantras. This would be a good place to put your mantra. Now, knowing that if you're super private, the only people that are ever going to see it are the people you, friends, friends and family, or people that you say are okay to see it. I'm, like I said, very public. So I would post my mantra here. You can edit everything on here, and you probably should, and I probably should too. Now, it's really hard for me to be succinct. I have a hard time with that. Simplify is really hard for me. So I've got a ton of stuff listed here. Now, what am I going to remove? I've got to go through this and figure out what would I take off. I probably will take off this one because I don't do this business anymore. So I think I'll remove that. And I want to keep this one on there. I want people to know that I did this. I want to keep this on here. This was a long time ago, but that was a nice thing that I did. I definitely want to keep that on there. Probably that. Now, do I need, I went to Inglewood High. No, I don't think I need that. I put that on there a couple years ago because we were having a 50th graduation thing. And so there were a lot of us, people that graduated that year looking for each other. And so I thought, well, I better put that there because my name has changed. I was Susan Wheel then. And so if they're searching for Susan Wheel, they're not going to find me. And although I did on LinkedIn, I have it in parentheses because there are times when my maiden name is important. And even though that was 50 years ago. So anyway, I would edit this and we can go through what the difference between friends. Okay, here's friends. I have 2,300 friends. You're allowed on Facebook to have 5,000. I think it's or just under 5,000. As soon as you hit that threshold, though, you can't add anybody, so you have to get rid of people. And there's no problem getting rid of people. They don't know that you've gotten rid of them. And I would say that with my friends, because I don't solicit friends very often. I research people who ask me to be their friend. So my friends, when you click on this, there are a lot of people who, I know most of them. There's Bob's. Isn't that cute? And when you run your cursor over these, it pulls up this information. So you see, Bob and I have 522 mutual friends, including these particular people. This tells where they live. This allows me to block them. It allows me to call Bob on Facebook, which I've never done, video chat, all kinds of stuff that you can click around and see what is there. There's probably a few people that I don't know don't know really well or don't know who they are, that are on there from being on there for 10 years or more. See, there's Beverly. Now, I know Beverly very well. I've known Beverly for 35 years. She doesn't have a picture. She should have a picture, even if it's a picture of her dog, would be better than a picture like this, because this is like a red flag for if somebody wants to connect with you. So the difference between friends and follow, I think when people friend you, they can opt to follow you. And I would say if you have people that well, let me see how that would work. Let's see, if I click on Katarina's, is there a place where I can follow her? The other thing that you might want to do is find somebody on Facebook who you admire, somebody who is doing something similar to yours or what you're doing. If you're an author, somebody who you follow as an author, somebody who you admire, and check out how they do this and copy it. So she's much better at being succinct than I am, but you can see what she has here are all of her websites. And that is a good thing. because you can just click through and go right there. So looking at other people's profiles and seeing what they're doing. You can see on her, this is her personal profile. This isn't her business page. This is her personal profile. But what she has done is she's made the cover temporarily. It's not going to be up there forever, but she's planning this retreat and she's actively getting people to join. The retreat doesn't happen, I don't think, until December, but she's booking it out. And so, of course, she's going to put that there so that people will see that, oh, wow, she's doing that. How cool is that? I want to go, kind of thing. Or maybe they went 5 years ago and they didn't realize she's doing another one. She had to cancel last year's. So somebody that hasn't seen her for a while pops in here and says, oh my gosh, she's doing another retreat. I want to go. And they will message her. Here's a way. Immediately you say, I want to message Katerina. Well, look at this. She messaged me this morning, gave me information, and I could, I gotta move you guys out of the way. I could send her a message. Katerina, I want to go on that cruise. I just saw your Facebook cover. I didn't even realize you were going. And yeah, I want to go. And so, boom, she's got another person on board the cruise ship for the Bliss retreat. Facebook is awesome. It's just like, I don't even know what to compare it to. It's such a fun way to be able to stay in touch with people and to know what's up with people that you maybe haven't seen for a long, long time, or people that you've just met, or people that you network with, or people that you meet at a party, all kinds of stuff, if you do it smart and safe. I think I'm going to stop because we've only got like 5 more minutes anyway. I want to go into the groups and into Facebook pages because that's really important for positioning. The Facebook page is your business or your creative endeavor, your book, your author presence, your whatever you are trying to communicate about. It's different and separate from your personal profile. And you can build the wall between the two as strong and high as you want. My wall between the two, between my personal profile and my business page, my wall is very small or non-existent. And so it's important to know why I've chosen to do that, why you would choose to do that, or why you would choose to build a very strong wall. So we'll go through that in another session. So right now, I'm going to well, actually, I think I'll keep my screen up in case you have a question about. Oh, and then I did want to do this, but I do not have time. So we'll do another session about that as well. And I know you all say, okay, we've been going 5 months and I know all this stuff, but how do I post? How do I do a post? And there's a whole process of how to do it. And so I will guide you through this with step by step, and then you can do it. And you can always ask me in the Facebook group. Those of you who are Posting with Purpose Play Shop members have access to the Facebook group, separate from my profile, separate from my business page. It's our group, which I facilitate. And you can only be in that group if you're a Posting with Purpose Play Shop member. And inside that group, I can do lots of one-on-one with you, answer your questions, and spend some time with you. But you got to go there in order to do that. So, anybody have any questions? No.
Could you go back just a little bit, or
Yes.
I was down to number 5 copying and I didn't get it.
So say that again.
How do I post?
Oh, I'll send that to you.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
worry. Don't worry about that.
Don't
That was-
worry.
That was a graphic that I made, and I will
I
actually.
like that. I like that graphic a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. And I'll put that in the group for sure.
Great. Thank you.
Did anybody type anything into the chat? I can't find it.
There's 4 here, but not me. No, I'm not one of them.
There's 4 there? Okay, well, let me,
Number 4. Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. Okay. Stephanie, blah, blah, blah.
Chat.
JR's website. Okay, that's it. So how about questions? Anybody have any questions?
I'm just gonna make, sorry, I've been so interrupted, but I have to get off in like 2 minutes. But
Okay.
I have a lot I have a personal Facebook, which is a mess. And I don't think I tried before to not connect it to my business. And anyway, it was a disaster. So I want to work with you on that.
Yes. Well, guess what? Good point. I sent out, oh gosh, a month ago, I forget what I called it. All of the things that you get for being part of the Posting with Purpose Play Shop. And one of the things that is new that I added was, for those of you who are paying members, you get access to me 3 times a year for whatever you need, one-on-one. Help me set up my Facebook page, help me, connect my business page with my Facebook page, or whatever you want. Help me know how to get around on the group. Anything you want. Or, I'm ready for a website. When do we start? that too. I'm there for you guys. And so you just need to connect with me, and we'll schedule a time to do that. And my idea is that you can do it 3 times a year for a half an hour a piece. But if you need to have an hour and a half, that's okay. We'll just bunch them all together. Okay, any other questions?
It was nice. It was good.
Okay, good.
It's not a question. It was lovely that you just took us along the ride.
Well, thank you. I hope.
And
it
boy,
was-
I'll be here for the Canva one.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, Canva, I love it. And I would love to teach everybody how to do it. And I actually, these are toys for me. I look at social media as a playground. It is so much fun to play in this playground and to use the toys that are available, so many of them for free, and some of them you pay a little bit. I mean, I pay $12 a month for my Canva Pro. That's not much. $12 a month to get all of these tools. You know how much we pay for Adobe? Dee knows how much you pay for Adobe
Well,
Suite.
I pay $9.99 now a month, but I used to pay $49.99 to get InDesign along with my photography work. And I just stopped. I didn't need it after, I dropped off the board of the thing I needed the design for. But I need the Adobe for my level of work with photography.
For the photography, definitely. But my point is that this is fun. I want it to be fun for you guys. And I appreciate that, Elaine, that Because sometimes I think, am I making any sense? Because I am just sort of floating around here. But that's sort of how I approach social media. Like Clubhouse, I'm brand new on Clubhouse, so I'm like floating around. I'm like exploring. I'm like dropping in, and I'm seeing, okay, how can I strategize this wonderful playground so that it works for me? I don't have to do it like everybody else. That's not the way I roll. I don't do things like everybody else. I do it my way. But I want you guys to feel comfortable enough that you can do it your way, and to approach social media as a toy, as a playground, and not be afraid of it. And if you ever get uncomfortable with things, let me know. Call me up,
Yeah.
message me, email me, and say, this seems weird, and I can tell you whether, what might be weird about it. Even if and we should have gone into this a little more, but about accepting friends. I research people. I don't just randomly accept everybody that wants to be my friend, especially the military men with big flags behind them and camouflage, who are oil workers.
Right.
And
I get one of those every day.
every day, and it's like, really?
And
No.
I just,
and
I don't
young buff men, I mean, really? So I research them though, and if they seem weird, they usually are. Okay,
I don't even research
Okay.
them. I dump them.
Elaine, you want?
Forgive me for having to leave, but
I have to go
2
too.
weeks, we're talking
Yes.
video.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
We'll also talk about, our relationship to social media. I'm so looking forward to being with you, and I apologize for rushing off.
Well,
It's
you're not
okay.
rushing off.
We all have to go too.
It's the end.
Thank
So
you.
thank you for coming,
Thank
and
you, everyone.
and-
Bye-bye,
Good to
everybody.
be with
all of you. And
JR, Dan,
and
Dee,
Sian, if you
Stephanie.
can stay for just a
Bye.
sec. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.